Alrighty, so daily analysis of what happened today in the market. Let's start with GU. So what happened is daily is bullish, internal switch bullish. We had that extreme and mitigated demand right there. I was expecting price to potentially come to that demand and then continue bullish. That's exactly what happened. We mitigated that demand and pushed with a lot of momentum to the upside. Had the daily choke as well, so momentum was to the upside for sure. Potential target would be that daily internal high, that weak high there. So that'll be our daily internal high, and it's weak, of course. So we could target that for our potential weak as our potential overall target where we expect price to go to. Of course, we're in continuation, so I expect the momentum to be very strong to the upside. Coming into today, we had that as our H4 structure, right? We had an IBOS, so I was expecting price to potentially continue bullish. Once we had that IBOS, I expected price to pull back, which it did overnight. We had the extreme demand there, extreme internal demand. But of course, momentum is so strong, I'm not expecting price to retrace all over to that demand. So looking at the M15, we just had the boss right there. That was our strong low. That was our weak high, right? Price just mitigated a random demand. I mean, a flip, it's supposed to be a flip, right? Because it, although we don't have a clear supply there, but yeah, I mean, that was the last demand before continuation to the upside. So price just came into that demand. And yeah, we didn't have any choke nor anything. Price created some internal structure there. So this was supposed to be an internal structure there. So I would call it an IBOS, although we don't really have a choke, but I would still call it an IBOS. And then price just switched to the upside, right? Another bullish IBOS, and we continued bullish. Didn't get any opportunity to get in. Of course, we didn't have any choke. We only had an eye choke, but it's very risky to take an eye choke just from there, right? From a large demand like that, especially when we don't have, or especially when we can push lower, mitigate perhaps that wick, and we don't have any choke, right? Any choke on the leg, so that was very risky to take there. Then price pushed to the upside, gave us a boss, creating one new swing low. Price pulled back. Unfortunately, it didn't go to any demand, and then it just pushed higher, gave us a choke right there. So that was our choke, and then it just pushed higher. After we got the bullish IBOS there, right, we created structure to downside, IBOS to downside, had an IBOS to the upside as well. After it created the IBOS, price just didn't pull back to mitigate any demand, then it just continued higher, right? So no opportunity for today. Momentum was very strong. That's totally fine. Now, what can we look for in tomorrow? Basically, we still have momentum to the upside. H4 is still bullish, but we could see some sort of pullback till one of the demands, right? We could see pullback to that demand, to that wick there, right? We could also see price pullback to that extreme, which is extreme internal right there. So yeah, price can do both, right? And for now, that's my internal low, my H4 internal low. So at any moment we can start that pullback. Now, for me to consider even looking for that pullback to the downside, I need an IBOS because that's my swing low for now, right? And that's my internal low. That's my internal high as well. So if we get a potential IBOS, right, then we could consider price to continue lower. We could consider sells. Where to potentially? Well, we have that demand there, right? It's not in EQ, yeah, of course, but we could see a reaction from there. We have this demand right here. And of course, we have the extreme, which I doubt price will react from there or push from there. But yeah, the issue here is that, well, we don't have any liquidity or any inducement in front of this level. Nor in front of this level as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if price just push lower and break both of them, right? Yes, we do have liquidity in front of this internal structure. But again, that would be our phase A2. And am I confident to trade against, I mean, pro M15, but we're overextended? I'm not really sure. We just mitigated one M15 demand supply, so we could see a pullback from here potentially. Right? Was it unmitigated, that supply? Yeah, it was unmitigated, so we could see potentially price continuing to the downside. Yeah. This was a flip as well, so price could potentially continue bearish. I mean, continue bullish from there. Now, if we draw our Fibonacci tool, if we suppose that this would be our M15 high once price start pullback, then yeah, we can target deeper into the EQ and see how price develop right there. Yeah, but for now, that's what I'm looking for. Potentially price to push to the downside, give us some sort of IBOS, right? And we can then sell until some sort of demands in EQ. And then potentially price can continue bullish from there. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I'm expecting basically. That's what I'm expecting in on GU. Very clean movement. I couldn't get any longs from here, but that's totally fine. Got lost there, but that's totally fine. That was 2 days ago. And yeah, very clean price action. Let's see what price will give us now. So that's GU. Let's see EU. Same scenario to be fair. We had that choke, expecting price to push higher. We had another choke right there, so price left us with one unmitigated demand. Price then pushed higher with a lot of momentum. We could now see price continuing bullish to that supply, but for now we're still bullish. Then we'll see if price continue bearish or react from that supply. H4, we just had our boss today, but before that I was looking to take price higher potentially. So price was already overextended. I expected price to give us some sort of pullback and then continue higher. I knew that price will not retrace to the extreme demand, of course. So I was trying to get into buys potentially. We had our boss there, so price was overextended. And yeah, I mean, we had an IBOS, which is very fine. I love the IBOS there. Price just pulled back. Didn't really reach our demand that we had. And here we had internal structures that I was looking to follow that internal. Price gave us an IBOS, but unfortunately, we never retraced to the downside. So if we retrace to that flip or to that extreme, I was aiming, or I was looking to get involved and look for longs. But unfortunately, it didn't, and price just pushed higher with one straight push, right? And yeah, so now what we have is we have a new M15 range. So that's our swing low, which is strong. That's a strong swing low. And we have, that's still our internal structure. So that's our internal high, right? And that would be our internal low right there. And 15 internal low. So we don't have any choke. I would love to see any sort of IBOS for me to look for shorts, but looking at it now, it doesn't look like we're gonna get any IBOS unless we break to the upside, and then we have a strong push downwards. And Yeah, I could see that price potentially is respecting the internal structure by giving us some sort of eye chalk right there, right? And it left us with one unmitigated demand here, from where we have quite some strong inducement in front. But this is not really high probability, I would say, because, well, you're trading pro swing, pro internal. That's phase A2. I mean, it's not in discount. Our internal low is right there. It's just a straight push to the upside. We could potentially reset structure, right, and count that as our um, internal low and then internal high and then another internal low, etc., etc. We could do that. So this is not a really strong level to look from buys from. Yeah, I'm still expecting price to continue lower or continue higher potentially in the long term. But for me to look for longs, I need some sort of pullback and then NIBOS, etc., etc. I just need a phase A potentially from one of the demands. So yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at for EU. Not the cleanest. I would love if price perhaps give us more confirmation, but that's fine. We're just gonna react to what the market will give us, and let's see if tomorrow we have potentially any sort of good entry. Do we have any news this week? I'm not sure. I mean, tomorrow I'm not sure, but yeah, that's basically what I'm looking at, what I'm looking for. Price to give us some sort of pullback, some sort of IBOS, either to take price lower or look for an IBOS from some sort of demand and then continue higher, right? Demand and discount. So that would be everything I'm looking for. Let's see if price will continue bearish. Let's see if we will get our pullback to one of the demands. If so, on the H4, you have this demand to look for buys from. Although it doesn't have inducement, but it's an H4, so could be demand to look for buys from. We have this demand as well, the daily one, and then we have the extreme demand on the H4, which would be that one. So yeah, that's everything for today analysis. Let's see if tomorrow we'll get any good trade, any good price action, and yeah,